Hello everybody, my name is Purgatory, and I'm going to be giving you guys a commentation on a quick match I did in placement. A couple things you should know. First off, I'm not very good, and this is placement, so you're not going to see a whole lot of awesome stuff going on, but it was a match I thought was pretty interesting, and I want to show a couple of my friends, so I decided to go ahead and commentate it, put it up, and see what they thought. Protoss playing here in the red Protoss. I'm playing the blue Terran down in the bottom. Speeding it up. We both start scouting really early. We both get our supply depots down early. Now, I was going to try and go for a 3 barracks build and just pump out Marines and Marauders and overwhelm them pretty early. And that didn't really work out. He's warping in 2 gateways pretty early on. Got my scouting on. He actually pulls his drones off the line to try and take down my SCV, which runs away, and I decided not to put that back in my own base. I'm actually going to take it and hide it off somewhere. And meanwhile, he's gotten a probe into my base, and I didn't really notice, and he got it through my wall that hasn't actually been established yet. I don't even have a Marine up. There's my second barracks coming out, starting up my command center pretty early. I've gotten my gas already. And yeah, so he's just kind of chilling there. I've got my SCV chilling up here. He's starting to pump out zealots, so he's going for an early zealot rush. He hasn't picked up any gas yet. He's not continuing to build probes either, which I think is going to hurt him later on. Our income is pretty even right now, but I'm also picking up gas, and he's not. Now I finally noticed that probe in my base, and I've got a Marine out to go around and kill it. And I finished my wall off with a tech lab on my barracks. Now I take that probe down, and I think he might have put in a proxy pylon somewhere in my base to try and warp gate rush me. So I start putting supply depots around my base to make sure there isn't any grayed out area, and I actually left this one, so if he had one in there I wouldn't have noticed. And from here on I don't do any scouting. He kind of catches me on my heels and keeps me on my base right here with this little zealot rush. And I think if he would have focused fire a little bit on these buildings better, he would have been able to take me out much sooner in the game than he was. I was able to get a Marauder out and start pumping damage into these zealots, and here I start to micro them away a little bit. Like I said, I'm not very good at this, but I try to take them out as quickly as possible, just running them away, and I've still got more Marines coming in, and I've got another Marauder coming out. So hopefully I can micro around these guys and get them down. And he starts going for my workers, and I'm going to take my workers off the line and run them away, because I don't want them to get killed. That'd be very, very bad. So they're running away, and the zealots are trying to catch up to him, but they're not going to, so my Marines just, pound him and take him down. If I was any good, I wouldn't have lost that one right there, but like I said, I'm not. He's got more zealots coming in, and for some reason he actually is going to decide to back off here, and I'm not sure why. If he would have pushed that, I think he could have taken me out. But I let him get away and start pumping out more Marines, more Marauders. As you noticed, I didn't get my third barracks up. I've kind of decided going against that. I'm going to wall this off again and just stay inside my base and try to hold off any more zealots he has coming, which he doesn't right now. He doesn't have any additional gateways. He's got a cybernetics core coming down. He's finally warping in both of his gases, bringing in a forge. Oops. Let's take a look at the production tab here. He's got 2 zealots on the way. I've got 2 Marines on the way. I'm researching concussive shells for my Marauders, figuring that if he's going to go heavy zealots, I can just kite him around, and it wouldn't be too big of a deal. Now I've decided to get my command center up over here because he hasn't scouted it yet, and he's obviously going to be keeping me in my base, so I want to start building up more minerals so I can pump out units a lot faster. He's brought a proxy pylon down outside of my base. In all the placement matches I've seen, I've actually seen Protoss players doing this, where they'll put down a proxy pylon outside of your base and start pumping out photon cannons in the front of your base. Now, as far as I'm aware, you're actually supposed to do that inside of the Terran player's base, or so you can get inside the wall and maybe start warp gating people in. Now, his cybernetics core is not researching warp gates because he doesn't have the gas. He's just barely started mining out of his harvesters, but he hasn't actually moved extra probes into them. He's building them to do that right now, though. And he keeps pumping out zealots and just hanging outside my base. At this point, I probably, I don't know, 5 zealots versus a bunch of marines and 3 marauders. I probably could have taken him out and overrun him. But he is getting these photon cannons and an extra pylon warped in, so I think my time for coming out of there has come to an end. Now I'm pumping SCVs out of here to get more minerals to build them up. I'm continuing to build my supply depots. This guy's just kind of hanging out there. He should be building supply depots. I'm trying to make sure I use my energy on my command center and utilize everything I've got. Guys, I hate it when they spawn outside the barracks like that. It's retarded. So he's going to go ahead and bring in a Stargate. He's going to chrono boost more workers. He's actually harvesting out of his gas now. It's looking like he's going to switch from a Zealot heavy build to maybe a Void Ray build. Just go over the top of my guys, go around the side, take out everything I've got from behind maybe. I'm not sure if he actually ends up doing that. Now I've got a Forge and more SCVs coming on the way out over here. And what I figured was, he's going heavy Zealots, I'll go heavy Hellions. I can just kite them around. Hellions do a massive amount of damage against biologicals. The Zealots will never catch me. It'll be a fantastic time. So I'm building my factory up over here. I've got a reactor on the way so I can pump out those Hellions much quicker. I'm starting to build up resources faster. My income should be pretty much destroying his. Yeah, I've got almost twice as much income on the same amount of workers as he does because I'm mining off of these high yields, which are going out much quicker. I do drop down an engineering bay because I think he might be attacking. He might scout this and attack it soon, so I want to get that up into a planetary fortress. Go back to the production tab. He's not really building a whole lot. He's going Phoenixes for some reason, which is interesting because I haven't displayed any type of air power, and that's really all they're good at. Unless he's wanting to do an early Phoenix harass, which is a little bit late for that, because you can come back behind these with your Phoenixes, pick up the workers, and shoot them down one by one, and it works very well, but it has to be done, I think, much earlier in the game. Now, I'm starting to pump out these Hellions. I've got another barracks up over here that I'm going to start building Marauders out of. I got another factory that I'm going to bring up that I want to start pumping more Hellions out of. As you notice, I'm a little slow. I don't quite get them going off as fast as I can. I'm probably going to warp this into a planetary fortress. There it goes. I'm still pumping out Marines and Marauders out of my front base. And if I would have pushed right here, I probably would have made it. But I thought he had a lot more outside my door than he does. Of course, I didn't scout. If I would have scouted, I would have known this. And I would have just went out there and owned him. Now, he's warped in a robotics bay. He's got 2 Phoenixes just sitting around. He hasn't researched anything. And he's not building anything with that robotics bay. He's got more photon cannons coming out outside my base, so he really wants to keep me inside there. I've got another gas coming down on my high yield expansion. I'm still cranking out Hellions. I've got some Marauders on the way. And he's got a probe. I guess he's going to come and build a nexus at this high yield expansion, but little does he know that I am already there with a bunch of Hellions. Now at this point you would think he would yank his Zealots back, and actually missed right. I actually tried to push out there, saw the photon cannons, and pulled back into my base there. So I'm still going to build up a bunch of units here, see if I can't push out, but I'm also building up units here, trying to get some Hellions, Marines, and Marauders out so that I can push into his base. Now I figured he would pull his Zealots back into his base, or at least start mashing something in there. There's my scan to see if he's got anything defending his ramp, and I'm going to go ahead and decide to pour my Hellions into his base and see what kind of havoc they can wreak. And yeah, he's really not building a whole lot of anything other than photon cannons outside of my base, which is, I mean, good. He's going to keep me in there. I'm not going to be piling out into those. One thing to note that is, if I've seen players that will build a whole bunch of photon cannons but only have one pylon in the middle, and if you're a Protoss player, that's a really big mistake because Terran can just come in. I've got Stimpack research, so all my guys have Stimpack. Come in, press Stimpack, knock that one pylon out, and your photon cannons are completely useless. Luckily, he didn't do that. And here's my Hellions going into his base. They're going to stop here. I'm microing them around that. I don't want them to stop there. I want to go to the back. I want to take out all of the workers that I can. Now, he makes the mistake of running them towards my Hellions without that stream attack. And I've essentially destroyed his economy now. and he's not building anything. He has nothing that can stop this, and he says it's done. And that is pretty much the game. So thank you for watching. As I said, my name is Purgatory. This is just a little commentation I want to do for my friends, show them one of my placement matches, and they love it when people do that kind of thing and yell at me when they're getting their butts kicked. I probably could have ended this a lot sooner, but I didn't. Such is the problem with being a new player, and thank you for watching.